This is absolutely amazing. This is the Bosnian Pyramid of the Sun, taken on Google Earth. And if you draw a line from the Bosnian Pyramid, and look how it kind of goes right along the edge here. You can see these two lines pretty distinctly. This one's not as distinct, but it comes pretty close. If you draw that line down to the Great Pyramid in Egypt, we'll zoom out here. Of course, you can already see it on the screen there because it's already marked. Oh, I didn't zoom out enough. Let's go out further, out further. Take a long time at the scale I was going. Further, further, further. All the way down to the Great Pyramid. We'll zoom in there. You'll see how it goes right along the northwestern edge of that pyramid as well. A little further. Look how close it comes to right there to the northwest edge. And it's 2,110,542 yards. Now, the megalithic yard is a little bit less, 2.72. So that means there would be more of them than there is in ours. So according to my calculations, if I did the math right, and I'm not claiming that I necessarily did because I'm not great at math, but I think I figured it out. You add that little bit of extra in, and that puts me darn close to 2,116,451. Now that's pretty darn amazing. And even if I'm slightly off on my calculation here, adding a little bit in, look how close this is to our number 216. It's only about a 28-mile difference over that long, that many, thousands of miles of a stretch. That's pretty darn close to our number 216, which is, of course, the diameter of the moon, 2,160 miles. They were using the same system back then. In fact, I want to show you something else here. Well, I need to zoom out some more. We'll get back over here to our pyramid in Bosnia. Zoom in, zoom in. And this kind of blows my mind too, because Google Earth gives you the elevation, it doesn't in meters. See, meters was invented as our base 10 system, okay? But the ancients used a base 6 system. And you can see the meters change when I run my cursor. Okay, the elevation changes. But if you find a little spot like somewhere in here where it's fairly relatively flat, you can come darn close, getting really close to 666 feet above sea level. I don't believe that's a coincidence, and I believe that's what they were aiming for right there. So, what else did we know? Now, how do we know they're using that system? Well, look, it's 720 feet tall. Notice I said feet. I didn't say meters. It's 720 feet tall, 1,440 feet wide. They were using our system. Well, what are those numbers, and what do they mean to us? All right, well, let's get our pentagram out here. Pentagram is a circle and a star within a circle, right? And there's 72 degrees between each point. 72, or 720 if you had a 0, for the first point, 72 degrees, 144 to the second point. Oh, and the third one is 216. What did we say? About 2,116 miles. It's just double the one, or yards rather. It's just the same numbers over and over and over again. And of course, they're related to the 666. How are they related to 666 in the elevation? Well, the first 144 digits of pi equals 666 when you add them together. This was found by John Basie. So, it's pretty obvious. And of course, this is a circle and it's related to pi. You could also say the triangular number of 36. That means 1 plus 2 plus 3 plus 4 all the way up to 36 also equals 666. None of this is a coincidence. All these pyramids were designed. There's unbelievable proof. This is why I don't have any respect for somebody like Zacharias Zacharias or whatever that guy's name is down there at Lazy Antiquities in Egypt. All he does is wants to make money. Everything's about money. If you have any theory that might keep tourists away or might get in the way of his dollars, coming in, then you're not going to hear any other theory. He's not going to espouse anything that's going to get in the way of money. And that's how your universities are run everywhere. You're not going to get anything that's not going to give them money and power. So you're never going to hear the truth. Now, you can't question that this is a man-made pyramid. The angles are pretty obvious, okay, for some of them. But they've also dug in it, and they have a whole bunch of artifacts. You can go on YouTube and watch all day the stuff they've dug out of this thing. So how's anybody going to say it's not man-made? And if this is man-made, and we already know the other pyramid's man-made, both huge, this one's even bigger. Oh, and 144,000 casing stones went around the Great Pyramid in Egypt? Huh. Same number again? I'm just guessing, but I'll check later maybe. But I bet if you look this many miles in another direction, there'll probably be some other artifacts somewhere. Just a guess. I don't know. I haven't checked yet. Maybe some other people can, and I say artifacts, structures or large buildings or pyramids or something to that effect. Probably somewhere within that radius right there. That'd be my guess. But if you find it, let me know. I'd love to know. Obviously, they were using sacred geometry based on the Unit 6. This is why Revelation talks about the 144,000 and the 666 as the supposed mark of the beast. These are sacred numbers and a riddle. It's not what you are told at church. Those numbers don't mean what you're told at church, because nobody wants, just the same people at church, they're like gatekeepers at church of knowledge, just like Zacharias or whatever his name is down in Egypt that's guarding the antiquities in Egypt, and saying nobody can believe anything except the official narrative that the dynastic Egyptians built the pyramids, which they obviously didn't. I mean, so obviously didn't. Obviously they found them. And you can look at Brian Forrester's YouTube page. He goes in and goes to sites all around the world and shows you the megalithic structures, then shows you how the people that came after them built less developed, less technologically sophisticated bricks and structures and buildings on top of the old megalithic structures, and it's really obvious. But you can't get the people that just want your money and power to ever confess to any of that. So it's obviously that there was a worldwide understanding and building knowledge, people that understood the same knowledge. You can go out to Angkor Wat in Cambodia, and it's full of the 108. That's the radius of the moon, Got the 108s all over it. You got the 144 and the 720 all over the Pyramid of the Sun in Egypt. None of this, or in Mexico, none of that's coincidence. It's all the same numbers, same culture, mathematical understanding. There was at one point a very sophisticated worldwide society. Is that what's talked about at the Tower of Babel in the Bible? Is it not really a tower? Is that a symbol of a worldwide empire, perhaps? And so when it broke up, then the people couldn't communicate anymore. And the societies were already around the world, but perhaps their communication systems were broken up by a worldwide catastrophe. This had to have been after the flood. Or is the flood and the Babylonian Empire really one story, but separated into two in the Bible? But they're really parts of the same story. It's really hard to tell for sure exactly what happened. So think about it, and by all means, give me your comments. Thanks for watching.